Royal Ones, this is Miss Gigi coming at you again with another juicy episode. Let's get straight into it. Let's continue. We are on number 12. We are on number 12 in regards to, or is it 13? No, we're in 12. And we're still wishing Barack Obama a happy President's Day. And we are on 162. We're getting closer to that 300, ain't we? We're getting closer. We are talking about how, this episode, we're talking about how Obama improved the treatment of soldiers and veterans. His impact on the soldiers and veterans. And let's talk about 162. He provided active combat troops with better body armor. Because I remember one time troops were not getting food, clothes, and proper body armors to fight the enemy. And so I appreciate that he provided them with better body armor. And the funny part is the only thing with that is this some of this same similar body armor is starting to fall into the hands of the police. And that's my only concern with that is that I think that needs to stay separate from the military is military and the police is the police, because the police is dealing with unarmed civilians and military is dealing with armed civilians and the enemy of the same. So that's what I'm saying. That's the difference. But in their minds, they're starting to cross it up as the same. They're starting to, cross over a little bit. And the treatment of the civilians are being treated like the enemy. So I think that we need to really continue to monitor the equipment that they give to the police. Number 163. Number 163 is Obama created a joint virtual lifetime electronic records program for military personnel in order to improve the quality of their medical care. So everything was basically kept online. So that's really cool. Instead of keeping up mounds and mounds of paperwork with these veterans, so they can better, provide care for them. 166, Obama put an end to the Bush era, the stop-loss policy that kept the soldiers in Iraq and Afghanistan beyond their enlistment date. So he brought the troops home. So big ups to Obama for that, for bringing the troops home. Number 165, Obama signed and implemented Veterans Health Care Budget Reform and Transparency Act, making more money available to give better medical care for the veterans, because they really do need it. They really do need it. Our veterans are out here. That war is causing them to have PTSD, and they're unstable. And they're unstable and they're not safe to be around their friends, families, and loved ones. And they are a danger to themselves, danger to the public. So we need to keep an eye on them. And better medical care. Thank you for that, Obama. 166, Obama negotiated with the congressional Democrats and oversaw the largest spending increase in 30 years for the Department of Veteran Affairs for improved medical and extended care facilities for the veterans. So yes, that is very critical. 167, Obama implemented the Green Vet Initiative, which provides special fundings to provide veterans with green training and green jobs. I had to look up green jobs, and I was like, what is that? It's businesses, it's jobs and businesses that produce green goods and provide services that benefit the environment or conservative resources. It's pretty much aimed at preserving or restoring the quality of the environment, such as like water conservation, sustainable forestry, biofuels, geothermal energy, environmental remediation, sustainability, energy auditors, recycling, electric vehicles, solar power installation, wind energy engineers, and nuclear energy engineers. Anything that affects climate change, alternative energy, and the environment. They pay over $87,000 a year for these jobs. Like, wow. So, green jobs, green money. How about that? Number 169. Obama saw a $4.6 billion expansion of the Veterans Administration budget to pay for more mental health professionals. They do need it. They do need it. My God, I appreciate what y'all do for our country, military boys and girls, but y'all need some mental health professionals because y'all, like I was saying, y'all can't really differentiate the war, whether you're not in the war. Sometimes y'all will click with that PTSD, it'll change, and then you'll act like, have flashbacks and stuff like that. So y'all really need monitoring, heavy monitoring. Number 170. 168. Obama initiated and signed a recruitment and employment plan to get more veterans into government jobs. Hold on, let's talk about this. Just because you served in the military don't mean you know what you're doing in this country to serve in government. And so I have a problem with that. I think that more college students need to. This is probably the only one that I really, really have a problem with. College students need to be more in the government. The legal scholars who went to school, got the 4-year education, the master's degrees and the bachelor's degrees and the doctorate degrees and the JDs. These need to be more in government. And Harvard students and those have just some form of education, because veterans are getting hired straight out of the military because they were in the Air Force and the Navy, but then they got to back that up with some special education. So do not ever come to my office and apply for a job and the only accolades you have is 5 stars and a Purple Heart on your application saying that you served in the Air Force. I'm not going to hire you. I'm going to need to know you know what you're doing, because in the government, he's hired that they get more veterans in government. I don't think so. Do these veterans have experience? Did they get a degree? Did they get the education in government? Then yes. Other than that, you can't just walk in and feel entitled because you did serve for our country and you did pull the trigger on the enemy to keep us all from safe and freedom. But it doesn't qualify me to give you a job. If you have those skills, yes, I'll hire you based on your skills. But I'm not going to hire you based on the he served in the Air Force or the Navy or the Marines. I'm not going to give you special privileges over somebody who know what the hell they doing. Now, if that student went to college and got her education, or somebody who has the skill set and no education, I'm going to give that person with the skills, who has training and skills in this job, versus giving it to a military vet with no skills. Because then why the government is a little kooky at the moment. I mean, I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but it's a lot of people up there that don't know what they're doing, and they overlooking our students and overlooking our educated scholars who do know, but they don't want to pay them what they owe, but what they supposed to. But then the military who's up there who don't have no idea what they're doing, and then they get trained by somebody in a lower position who know what they're doing, but they don't want to pay that person. They'll pay the military veteran. That's called favoritism, and that's a lot of that going on. But I don't like the fact that this is showing he signed an initiative and signed a recruitment and employment plan to get more veterans in the government jobs. I will put a veteran in a government job if he know what he's doing, if he got experience, if he went to school for that while he was in the military, if he got training. But I think that they're just putting them in there because of the whole Purple Heart thing, because of the you served our country. I think that's what's going on. I think it's just that's my guy, like it's an entitlement type of situation. And I don't like that. And that you could tell that that's what's going on. They don't know what they're doing. That's how they running this government. They getting this job based on, favors. So, no disrespect to the military. Royal ones that served in the military, God bless you. And I respect you. Do not take this the wrong way. It's just the fact that you should not be given favoritism because you served in the military. If you don't have any experience in that industry, you shouldn't get the job. So the fact that they're pushing more veterans into the government doesn't mean they know what the hell they're doing. Because 18-year-olds get enlisted in the military with a high school diploma only, period. And you go serve in the military 4 years, 6 years, 8 years, only with that high school diploma, come out of the Marine Corps, come out of the Navy, come out of the Army, and that all you have is your high school diploma, but you get an $87,000 paying job just like that. Bullshit. Really? Bitch, bye. You cannot do that. Is what's really happening. And then the ones who did go to school for that 4-year education is drowning in student loan debt, have to train this military veteran to do their job. And then, that's just what's going on, to be their damn supervisor. At the end of the day, that's exactly what happened. All right, let me get off that. Number 168. Let's move on. 169. Obama oversaw a $4.6 billion expansion of the Veteran Administration budget to pay for more mental health professionals. Absolutely. 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 Mental health is very important and it should be monitored. And I agree. Obama signed the Military Spouses Residency Relief Act, which ensures that spouses of the military personnel are forced to move because their spouse is posted for military duty can avoid state taxes and their temporary residence. I agree. Yeah, they shouldn't have to pay because they're gonna be able to move in about a couple 6 months. So they gotta pay taxes. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, give them tax relief. I agree with that. Number 171, Obama ordered improvements to access to mental health care for veterans, military personnel, and their families. Yes, because not only does the military veterans have mental problems, but also the personnel and their families who's dealing with the person. So the PTSD from the spouse dealing with that from the military spouse also pours over to, the families and stuff. So I agree. That's important. That was good. Number 172, Obama got Syria to dismantle its chemical weapons without military firing a single shot or dropping a single bomb. And I think that negotiation is important because we ain't got it's better to not kill innocent people. Because anytime you start a war in a country, the general public is affected just as well as you going after the enemy. And you subdue and kill the enemy, but you also subdue and kill innocent civilians. So I appreciate the way that he negotiated without harming innocent people. Even though Syria is a foreign country, but you still have respect for innocent lives and general public. So that's awesome. Just good negotiation tactics with the enemy. Number 173. Along with congressional Democrats, Obama not only reauthorized families of fallen soldiers to be able to visit the bodies when they arrived at Dover Air Force Base, but he also provided funding for it. And he ended the media blackout on the coverage of the return of fallen soldiers because that's a little overwhelming to see all those dead soldiers coming back from the military and the general public. It kind of puts fear and make you panic and have anxiety and say, why is our soldiers, those soldiers before they were children of, men and women, their mothers and fathers and brothers and sisters of these families. So seeing all these overwhelming dead bodies coming home, that makes people panic. Yeah, that and he provided funding for that and showed the family. He showed us in the general public what was going on of the returning of the fallen soldiers and how they're being treated. So that was real good too, but it caused anxiety and fear a little bit too. And that's why he was trying to protect us from the general public. Number 174, Obama funded the Department of Veteran Affairs with an extra $1.4 billion to improve veteran services. So yeah, that's important. He did real good with the veterans. Obama signed into law a bill that provides support, counseling, and breastfeeding supplies to military moms who are covered under TRICARE, the health insurance provided to veterans. I didn't know that. I thought that all came standard. Support, counseling, and breastfeeding supplies to military moms. I thought that was all part of the insurance plan. I did not know that had to be separate. Like, oh my gosh, that should have just been all together. But apparently not. You had to address that as a separate issue? Like an add-on? Okay. Number 176, Obama signed into law a bill that makes it easier for military dogs to retire at home with their handlers. Because you become best friends with your doggies. Absolutely. Dogs become a part of the family. And those dogs, they hurt like we hurt. You know, like a lot of people don't think so, but dogs are a man's best friend. And these veterans, they do have conditions that it's called therapy dogs, therapeutic. And when they're around their therapeutic properties, and when you, especially when you don't have any more family members or friends that are alive. So a lot of these vets, that does help to keep you calm, and it gives them something to look forward to when they come home, and to keep a stable mindset. So, all right, boys and girls, let me know what you think about Obama's improving the treatment of soldiers and veterans. Let's have this conversation. Please meet me in the comment section, and tell me, what have you, a family member or friends, been affected by any of the mistreatment or any of these military services that you need and you've been overlooked, or have you received any of these benefits, or how has Obama, his presidency, since he's been in presidency and he implemented these laws available to the veterans, how has this impacted your life in general? Meet me in the comment section. Let's have this conversation. Thank you so much for listening to this message. Don't forget to comment, share, like, and subscribe. Love, hugs, and kisses.